All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here, here on the land, and I want to continue on with this little series of what I've been talking about in terms of just spotting people that are serious, people that are not serious, on various issues, and this can apply to a number of topics when you are dealing with people at any given time. When it comes to their level of seriousness or interest in doing a particular thing. Now, what I've been talking about specifically has been, whether it's homesteading and community, one and the same. One being community, are much, much more dynamic and I would say personally 10 times more difficult than it is doing homesteading. Uh, because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with personalities, and I don't care what situation it is. When you're dealing with people, you're dealing with spirits, you're dealing with personalities. Therein lies your challenges. But when it comes to the concept of homesteading, you're dealing with typically just one person, which is yourself. And this is why it's so important to be able to know thyself. Because, see, if you partake in anything, whether it's homesteading, marriages, uh, business, you got to know how serious you are. Because at the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you know exactly who you are. You're not fooling anybody unless you're just flat out schizophrenic, and we have a lot of that in this day and age where people will honestly look themselves in the mirror and believe that they're capable of doing something that there's no fruit in their life, there's no ability whatsoever in their life to exert that. And I even see this schizophrenia on social media, and it's a pretty sad thing uh, when you see it. But that's another video. So let me just talk about the notion of uh, dealing with people that are serious, their mindset, and what to look for. Okay, so I think I've said this on a previous video. I'll say it again. People are very surface level. Okay, meaning that uh, when they're talking about something, hey, I want to start a business, or I want to do homesteading, or I want to get married, whatever it may be, they're just saying a statement that is in their hearts because they like the idea of something. However, they don't know the details associated with actually doing it or actually uh, implementing and being successful at it. I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, and I'll use homesteading, or I'll use business, or I'll use probably even marriage as well. It's all the same. If you say that you like or you want to do homesteading and you're excited about it, then you're going to immerse yourself in the details associated with homesteading. Would you not? Would you not? You would say, okay, I've investigated thoroughly everything in terms of homesteading. I have looked at geographic and what kind of land that I should purchase. I've looked at what kind of resources that the land should have, whether it should have pasture or what kind of dirt. This is why we say tillable land. If you don't have tillable land, you don't have good land. Period. Point blank. Uh, does that land have a natural water source, whether it's a creek, a stream, a well, a pond? Does it have a natural water source? Um, Geographic location, um, resource development. All of these things are associated with that. When I talk about starting a business, okay, what capital do you need to start the business? So these are things that people have investigated in understanding. Marriage, okay, what does it mean to be married from a Christian or Hebraic perspective? Because, see, from a Hebraic perspective is different from a Christian perspective, okay? A Hindu perspective is different from a Hebraic perspective. So the idea is that if you know all of those different perspectives, then you'll understand exactly what somebody or where somebody is coming from. More often times than not, you have people that claim that they're Hebrews, but they're coming from marriage from a Christian perspective, or they claim to be Christians, but they're coming from marriage from a Islamic perspective, and so it's all wrong. It's all wrong. But uh, let's get into the concept again of homesteading, and this is a surface level conversation. Okay, you're interested in homesteading, right? Tell me about the uh, gardening. Okay, do you have a garden in your backyard? Um, do you uh, have you ever been to a homestead, or do you have a garden? And then you listen to them. Uh, Typically, what people will do is they will get into the things that they don't like and what they refuse to do. I've heard this time and time again. So they'll say, "Well, I love the idea of gardening, but you know what? I don't want to garden. I don't want to have to mess around with the dirt. I don't want to have to touch the animals. I don't want to have to butcher the chickens. I don't want to have to." They'll divulge this stuff without you having to uh, get involved in it at all, or ask the question at all. They'll get into it what they don't want to do associated with homesteading. Okay, so I'm listening, and typically I'll just listen. Okay, um, but they'll list all of the things that they don't want to do. Uh, that tells me automatically they're not serious about homesteading, because who else is going to do it? They always say, you know what, I'm going to hire some farmhand, or I'm going to hire somebody to come in and do it for me. These people are not serious at all. So I listen to them. I listen to them, but I know, like I've seen in previous occasions, and doing this for about damn near 9, 10 years right now. Doing this for over a decade, I understand what I'm talking about. I understand exactly the stage player from the people that are not serious, and it's amazing to see them 2, 3, 5 years from now they're not doing anything. I'm telling you, man, I am batting 1,000 on this, because it's not an issue of prophesizing or anything like this. It's just an issue of knowing the signs of when somebody is serious and they're not serious. I'll give you a perfect example as well. Marriage. I want to be married. Okay, but then they'll tell you what they're not going to do, or what they're not going to tolerate, or what they're not going to put in. That's a part of general marriage. This is just a part. If somebody says, well, it's a man or woman, well, I want to be married, but I don't want to work. Really? But I want to be married. Really? How does that work? How does that work? Well, I want to be married, but I don't want to cook. Well, I want to be married, but you know what? I don't want to submit to my husband. Well, I want to be married. I want to submit to my husband. Is in these areas, I'm not going to submit to my husband. You never see these people go on that cherry pick. They cherry pick what they do or what they don't want to do, because it challenges the flesh. It challenges this flesh, and they're not going to want to change, because it's a matter of the heart. It's a matter that they're not going to want to uh, uh, deal with the full transformation, about the being the transformed and renewing of the mind, about going through the trials and tribulations associated with all of these things, whether it's homesteading, whether it's marriage. And what I've come to find is that these people are unsuccessful across the board. So if they have this mindset in terms of marriage, they're a failure at homesteading, they're a failure at business, they're a failure at or they have this what's the word I'm looking for? This persona of success. But when they're really just another 9 to 5 slave wage person that's given the aura that they're doing something that where they're really not successful at anything at all. When you really dive down deep into it, because after all, a person that's successful at business can see another person and say, you know what, they're successful at business. A person that's a carpenter, a person that I know a lazy person when I see one. I know a person who's talking the talk and that's walking the walk when I see one. I just know it because I know what is associated with it. If a person that uh, they're not successful at anything, these things across the board, and this is why they refuse to engage in real direct conversation. They'll never have a direct conversation with you because they know that they're about to be exposed. So they'll avoid that altogether. Now, I don't care when it comes to homesteading, when it comes to business, when it comes to marriage, whether it's a male or female, whether it's male or female. Because, see, if you're excited and you're interested in marriage, then your thought process and your actions would say, this is what I'm willing to sacrifice. This is what, I always ask the question when it comes to homesteading, right? Well, what are you willing to sacrifice? And the question, it amazes me because they're not willing to sacrifice anything. They're not willing to give up anything. They want everything, but they're not willing to give up nothing. But again, you see these people, 2, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, I'm doing another video shortly of somebody, of a personal experience. I did a video call with them, taped it. It's sad to see what people, the situations that people are in today, but that's what it is. I know this video is kind of long, and it's not for the people with the short attention spans. It's the people that actually get it and understand it and willing to move and get things done. But these are some of the things that I'm talking about. People that are not that are very surface level, that can't really answer the serious questions from a person that's seriously doing it. Because, see, it's one thing for two people to get together and talking about, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And it's another thing for you to get on the phone with somebody that's actually doing it, talking to somebody that's actually interested in doing it. It's a totally different conversation because, as we say over and over again, the person with the argument is always at the mercy of the person with the experience. There's very few people, whether Hebraically or Gentile, that has less than 10 years worth of experience doing this, can tell me anything about living set apart. I mean, if they've been living set apart 5, 6 years, they can't tell me anything. They can't teach me anything about this thing. There's only people that have been living this thing longer and understand it deeper that can teach me something. I'm sorry, but if you just now moved on a homestead or a community or something 3, 4, 5 years, there's nothing that you can teach me about this thing. It's just a fact. It's just like me trying to go to somebody that's been living this thing for 20, 30 years. I'm going to teach them about something. That's a big one right there. But hey, this is the aspects and the dynamics of understanding with people that are serious about it, and that are people that just talking. They're not willing to make the sacrifice. They're not willing to conform to a new way of thinking because they haven't been transformed in the renewing in their mind. So therefore, as a direct result, they'll forever be learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. You know why? Because they're not willing to live truth, because their own truth is more important than the truth that's found in that book, that's found in the experience of what it means to be a set apart Kodesh homesteader, much less building a family or building a business. They fail at it all. But these are just some of the tidbits. Until next video, shalom.